TJ, might as well get this out of the way now. The weight issue. How are you doing? How's the weight?
That's always the number one question, right? But it's not an issue. It's been actually, I always knew that I'd be able to make the weight, but surprisingly how good I feel at even trying to get down there. But it's because how professional I took it. The weight cut's already over. It's been 12 weeks of doing this. Now it's just some tricks to get the last weight drop down. But the weight cut's been over. My diet's been strict. My workout routine's been strict. I'm lean. And everyone thinks I'm lying, but I'm stronger now than I was last camp, and I'm lighter. So my strength-to-weight ratio is through the roof. Fast, feeling great.
There are people on the internet, on social media, saying, "Oh my God, TJ looks horrible. He's so lean. He's got nothing on his bones."
Yeah.
What is your response to that?
Oh, I feel great. This is gonna be something to talk about, right? I mean, it's always something to bash on or something to talk about, create some sort of talk, But I don't really worry about it. Of course, I'm gonna be skinnier. I'm going down a weight class. If I were to wait and just crash the weight all at last time, I would look better throughout camp, right? I mean, I would look more normal, which I feel like I'd look normal, but it's like not as lean, right? And then I would have to crash it all at the end, and then my performance wouldn't be as good. So I'm more worried about the performance than I'm worried about what people are saying online.
Can you say how much you weigh right now?
I woke up 135 this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's, certainly within range. I know some people don't
super within range. I usually show up like 15 over at 135. I usually show up like 150 at 35s,
So you're actually closer to 125 at this point in fight week.
Yeah, I've taken it. Obviously I haven't made 125 since I was freshman in college, maybe senior in high school. Because I didn't want to. I wanted to wrestle 33s, so I haven't made 25s in a long time. So I wanted to make sure I, cross all my T's and dot all my I's. It wasn't second guessing going down 25s. I want to be the best TJ Dillashaw possible on the 19th.
What feels the most different in camp in terms of your ability? Are you way faster, or do you feel anything's different?
Oh, I'm definitely faster. I'm carrying a little bit less weight around, but different-wise is maybe how even more dedicated I had to be to camp. I've always been dedicated. I've always trained my butt off, but having to wake up and do my my long distance running in the morning, my intermittent fasting, a little bit of the calorie intake, and just Sam Calvita, my strength and conditioning coach. He's a mad scientist, and just everywhere from the supplementation to the food and to the way I'm working out and the timing of it has been a little bit different.
So when you see Henry, just normally whenever you guys would see each other, how did you feel you guys compared physically? And how do you think your advantage or his advantage might shake out on Saturday?
He doesn't have an advantage.
Yeah.
I think I have advantage everywhere. He's a great athlete, awesome wrestler, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push him over that edge to handle my pressure. I'm going to be able to finish him.
So his ability to, he's already that champion.
Yeah.
So his body already responds to being 25.
Yeah.
So people might
he's
think
missed
he's
weight.
Just
He's had trouble making weight. He's had trouble making 125s. I bet I make weight easier than he does. But it's because of how professional I am and the way I've taken it,
And so the champ thing, I know we all call it champ now, but that's actually been an aspiration of yours for quite some time, right? To be a two-division champion. So now that you're on the verge of making that happen, possibly, how does it feel to be this close to that?
It feels real good. And it's not just so much just to be the champ. It's just to prove that I feel like I'm the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I trained very hard. I put everything in there. I'm a very well-rounded fighter, and it's about time to get to prove it. I can go down a weight, I can go up a weight, I can be at my weight class. It's just one of those things that I want to show my dominance everywhere and really take that number one spot. I want to be able to have that throne. That's why I was chasing DJ, and now I'm just chasing my own legacy.
Do you think that if you win, though, you're going to be responsible for shutting down that division?
I don't know. I'm not really too worried about it. This is a selfish sport. Yeah. I'm not worried about what they're going to do with the weight class or what they're doing with everyone else. I'm worried about being the greatest of all time. So
they haven't had a conversation with you about if you win, would you
there's always rumors, of stuff going on, but no, I haven't had that. The first conversation is me taking over and winning that belt.
Yeah. TJ, you said you did everything scientifically, but there was a little bit of a hiccup when the card got moved a week up.
Yeah.
And because you guys do everything so by the book, did that change anything? And how did it have to accelerate the process a little bit by 7 days, or did that change anything?
Luckily, I was ahead of schedule.
Okay.
we would have made it work either way, right? We would have maybe add a little bit more to it and put a rush on some things. But luckily at that point in time, when I did get the phone call, I was ahead of schedule. I still had to call and check with my coach and be like, hey, is this something we should do? I know you're like very like he's a calculus teacher. He's very like scientific what he does, everything. And so every week we have a checklist of what I need to wake up at. You know, your truest weight is what you're waking up at in the morning. And he had a checklist for every week of what he wanted me to be at. And obviously I was hitting those and I was ahead of schedule. So I was able to keep the calorie intake. And the only thing that maybe changed was that my calorie and my consumption that him and his daughters make for me were increased a little bit sooner to drop.
Is this something that you would want to continue to do if you were to win, if you were to beat Henry, win the belt? Would you want to defend it and kind of go back and forth, or is this just kind of a one-time thing? I
don't know. We'll see what opportunity comes. I mean, I'm not afraid of it. You know, it's been a lot easier than I even imagined it was going to be. So yeah, I don't have no problem. I mean, I can fight whatever's the biggest fight for me.
And I guess without giving away too many of Sam's secrets, what is the lifestyle change for you trying to get down to 25? What are you doing differently? What are you eating that's different than you normally would, for a 35
I mean, I've been listening to them all camp. You know, everything from supplementation to my calorie intake to the type of foods, when I'm eating them. You know, like intermittent fasting on certain days or on not days. Put my body in ketosis and taking out of ketosis. You know, spiking certain levels. Like maybe I need to put more carbs in my body this week to get my insulin up, or maybe put my body into ketosis. But I've learned a lot, obviously, as you can tell when you're talking about it, but I kind of leave that all up to Sam, you know? I mean, he's the one that's the mad scientist, and I trust him, and so I follow.
Most people like to spend the holidays having a good time, having some food, having some food. Yeah. What was it like for you this year? Yeah. What was it like for your family?
I had a skinny Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, by far. You just show up, you hang out with family, everyone drinks, eats, has a good time. There's not like presents, not a lot of pressure. So that was a bummer, you know. Christmas and New Year's not so bad. I mean, I still enjoyed everything, right? Thanksgiving was tough, you know. I love stuffing and I'll have a late Thanksgiving, early 2019 now. So
you started before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
When did you start the restriction and the intermittent fasting?
Well, I originally thought me and Sudo were gonna fight at 35s, and so. I think I was 12 weeks out when I thought we were going to fight at 35s, and then I got a call later that week, maybe the end of the week, so maybe I was 11 weeks out saying that Sudo doesn't want to take it at 35s. I said, I'm more than willing to drop 25. That's what I wanted to do anyways. So probably 11 weeks out, you know, but maybe it was actually 10 since now I got moved up.
So TJ, were you thinking when you got that call that he didn't want to go up, that maybe he was avoiding the fight with you?
Yeah, of course. I definitely think he's trying to avoid the fight. Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to be able to defend his belt and actually be a real champion. But once again, I'm going to come in there and show him that he's not, just like I did with Cody.
Is there a part of you that wishes you were fighting DJ instead for this?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I was chasing him down. He had that number one pound for pound spot, so it maybe meant even just a little bit more. But Cejudo's a great athlete, and he went out there and implemented a great plan. I'm not sure that I could say that he won that one decisively against Demetrius, but he showed some great improvements. He looked good. So really it's just me being dominant over everyone I fight. It's going to keep me exciting, but I was chasing Demetrius, yes.
I mean, if you're able to get a victory over an Olympian,
yes, of course. Yeah, and I'm going to out-wrestle him too.
You think?
Yeah.
You're obviously coming off of 2 fights with Cody, and there's a big rivalry there. But recently, you and Henry have gone back and forth a lot, you know, in terms of building this rivalry. How would you compare the rivalry between you and Henry compared to the one you're coming off with Cody?
A little bit less personal. You know, it's not so much like hashing into people's personal life, and more just competition. Who thinks they're better? And that's the rivalry I like. You know, I like having that one of like. All the trash talk I do is more about me telling you I'm better than you and that I'm going to beat you that night. You know, I don't really get into the personal stuff, but people like it.
How many of your friends are disappointed that you're not fighting close to home in Anaheim, but now Brooklyn?
A ton, man. My whole hometown is going to come down from Angels Camp, California. But I'm still going to have a huge crowd coming out to Brooklyn, which is cool to see the support from my hometown. But, yeah, it would have been cool just to drive out my back door. I could have ran to the arena, you know, to where I was going to be fighting at. But I love New York. New York's been good to me. It's been a good fighting city. Sometimes it's almost easier to leave your home to fight. Because I fought in Sacramento when I fought Joe Soto. Obviously, that fight was crazy because I was supposed to fight Barao anyways. And there's just so many more obligations and, family wanting to stay at your house and friends trying to get a hold of you, people wanting to do this and do that. When you fly somewhere, you get to the hotel, you bunk up, and that's it. If you want to come to a fight, fly out, hang out, But I don't know. I kind of like traveling. I like traveling to a fight. It would have been cool to fight in Orange County down in Anaheim, but I'm excited to go to Brooklyn.
Henry's coach.
Henry, but one of the big fights coming up at bantamweight, Marlon Moraes and Rafael on the Sun South. Who do you see winning that one, and do you believe they're going to be the next at 135 for the title shot?
No, that's a tough fight. They're both great. That could go either way. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Sintel might squeeze it out again.
Henry's coach said today that if you were to miss weight on Friday, that you should put the bantamweight title on the line for the fight Saturday.
He's just praying that I miss weight. Him and his manager Ali are just like sitting there praying like, come on, Dillashaw needs to miss weight. We don't want to lose. We don't want to lose. So it's just something to talk about.
Let's say something goes horribly wrong.
I'm not going to miss weight.
Okay.
I'm not missing weight. Don't even bring it up. I'm not gonna miss weight. I'm 135 pounds this morning, and I feel great. I'm not missing weight.
Well, where's it coming from, TJ? You don't look like you have 10 pounds more.
Where's it gonna come from? I mean, that's the secret of Sam Calavita. Doing some water displacement, some tricks, but like I said, the weight cut's been done. My body weight, like the structure and the fat loss and that kind of stuff is done. It's nothing else. Just fluids probably from here on out.
How does the missus feel about the leaner, meaner TJ?
Oh, she likes me bigger.
Yeah.
I'm happier.
Right.
Everyone gets a little hangry every now and then. I'm like them Snickers commercials, Hopefully I'm just Danny DeVito, though.
How do you feel? Is there any difference now that this is going to be kicking off the ESPN era? Have you felt a difference in response or promotion or anything on how people are responding to this fight and to you?
Big time. It's really cool. I mean, I was excited that we signed with ESPN anyways, because when you think of sports, you think of ESPN. This makes the UFC even more legit than if it already was. But I mean, I love their relationship with Fox, but I feel like ESPN just takes us to that next level. I felt the promotion. They came in, did I think it's called the Journey now instead of the Countdown, and that was really cool. Those guys were very professional and did a great job. I haven't seen it yet, but from what I've done with them, it looks like it's going to be awesome. During the national football game, we had commercials going on ESPN. My last two fights with Cody were on ESPN2. It's been big promotion. It's really cool to just be able to turn on your TV on ESPN and have the UFC on there. It's quite exciting that I get to be the first one to kick it off.
Does going from a pay-per-view main event to a main event on ESPN Plus change your pay at all? Did you have pay-per-view points coming into the pay-per-view?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I had pay-per-view points coming into it, but that's I'm looking at the promotion of being behind ESPN and having ESPN back me and the long-term goal behind it. Everything will work out just great for me.
So you kind of lose money in the short term, but hopefully you gain that back.
Not necessarily.
But you don't get the pay-per-view points.
No, I'm not going for pay-per-view. No.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going for more guaranteed money.
Okay, so you restructured your deal to get more guaranteed money for ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I don't like talking business, man. This is about me. This is about me kicking people's ass, not my contract.
TJ, I heard you kind of mention that you thought about moving up even to challenge Max at featherweight. Is that maybe the ultimate goal to be the champ?
Gotta have long-term goals, man. You gotta break records. Gotta be. How are you gonna be the greatest of all time if you don't? But right now I'm worried on. I'm not worried. I'm focused on Henry Cejudo, one step at a time. Don't look past him. But I do have long-term goals, and we'll talk about that when it comes to it.
Did anything change after the second fight with Cody? Did anything change with your relationship with people that you kind of got a little separated from? Did it put the end to anything?
Oh, definitely put an end to it.
Yeah.
I don't hear any of the drama anymore, which is nice.
Did anybody did you have a rapprochement? That's how we say. Are you friends again with somebody that maybe you weren't for a little while?
I say that I wasn't friends with them, but I've been in contact with guys that I haven't been in contact with before. That finally were felt like they were able to reach out to me now that we weren't fighting each other. And guys that left the gym like Justin Buckles. Right. Me and Justin Buckles were always very close when I was there. He's probably my closest friend at Team Alpha Male. And even before the second fight with Cody, he started because he left and butted heads with Uriah just like everyone does, and started reaching out to me. And guys like that, Lance Palmer started coming down and training with us. down in Southern California. I've been in touch with some of the guys. Me and Chad Mendez have always been close, but
in hindsight, was that rivalry good for you though in a way? Like, do you feel in hindsight now that actually did push you more? I mean, you're obviously a very motivated person, but did it have something extra for you with that?
Not motivation to fight, but it pushed me in the right direction of where I want to be now with where I'm living, the businesses I'm pursuing. Like, the people that are around me in the circle that I've created now wouldn't happen if I would have stayed in Sacramento. And I'm a lot happier where I'm at now and the people that are in my life and around me than I was in Sacramento, if that makes sense. To push me competitively, no, I don't need a difference in that. I mean, I'm a straight psycho when it comes to competition, so yeah.
Do you feel like you'd be able to make this drop to 125 if you were still in your previous place, or is the key to everything kind of being Sam Palvita and this new setup?
I would have done it, but I wouldn't have been as confident how good I feel. I wouldn't have been wanting to sit here doing interviews right now. I'd have been crashing weight right now, you know. But with Sam, now I know that I'm going to be able to get out there and have my best performance. You know, I have that confidence that I can go out there and I'm not going to get tired. You know, my heart rate variability is the best it's ever been. My strength to weight ratio is the best it's ever been. I'm setting PRs. Now I see my clean and press, my last strength conditioning workout on Saturday, and I'm setting PRs for strength, which is insane. It doesn't make sense, you know, but it does the same. So I just follow along.
I feel like he's one of the more underrated guys.
Maybe
that's good though. Maybe you don't want to get the word out.
Well, he doesn't want to either.
Right.
Like, he only wants to work with. He's not in it for the money. He's not in it for the fame. Everything we do is in his garage at his house. He could have a cool facility and have something really awesome, but he's a very humble guy. Felt bad about buying a new truck finally. You know, like, we just do it in his garage, and his daughters make my meals, and they don't make any money off me. They do it out of the love, you know. We have guys like me, Aaron Pico, Juan Archuleta, Lance Palmer's joined. We have a pretty tight niche of guys that are able to come to the garage. It's kind of an invite only thing, but we're pushing him out to kind of get his name out there a little bit, kind of hyping him up ourselves. You know, he's not going to do it himself. So,
how is Pico looking ahead of this fight?
The guy's amazing, man. Him and Juan Archuleta are both fighting on the 20th. Like, another reason why I'm excited about my fight being moved up, though, is that I can now corner Juan Archuleta and Aaron Pico for their fights here at the Forum for Bellator.
So you're gonna corner Pico?
Well, I'm gonna corner Juan, but I'll be there for Pico.
Is Juan coming to New York?
Yeah.
Fighting next weekend?
Yeah, Juan's gonna be there. Yeah, he's which is actually perfect for him because that guy works harder than anybody I've ever met. You know, he's a workhorse. He never slows down. He's going back-to-back fights. He fought and then 8 weeks later accepted another fight at weight class below him. So he's been on the same schedule I've been on in only 8 weeks. And that guy, he needs a little bit of a break. So it's good for him to come out to New York. He'll continue to work with Dwayne and work with the coaches we've all been working with and escape like the everyday life of 3 kids pulling you in every direction and the hard work he's got, you know?
TJ, talk about what you got going on with Candor and with the vets and that whole situation.
With what? Sorry.
With Candor and the supporting the vets that you got
Yes.
going on. Yeah.
Oh, it's actually quite awesome. So we've done this thing to help donate to the veterans, and we're doing a thing with Candor. It's kind of like a live video chat where you send in a question, and I get to see you. You'll see me listening to your question, and then I answer back to you and have a kind of one-on-one conversation. It might be something about fight week. It might be something about my son, about my life, about MMA technique. And it's also great for me to be able to promote who I am and my lifestyle. But the biggest thing is that we started is to donate to the vets, and it's really cool. I'm pumped to be behind it.
With Henry obviously beat DJ, who was pound for pound, best in the world. Mm-hmm. With the victory against Henry, where do you feel you should be ranked pound for pound after that?
I already think I should be number one, but that's me. So obviously it's not my job to rank us. So we'll see what everyone else thinks of my performance.
Speaking a lot about the fight that you're in on the nutrition side, what about the mental fitness as you prepare to fight? What do you like to do when you unwind? Do you watch fights? Do you watch reality TV? What do you like to do just to keep your mind fresh and clear as you head into the fight?
Yeah, the Fit to Fight program is actually my program that I started. That's a MMA technique and nutrition and strength conditioning kind of. I feel like one of its kind. It's does everything all together. You got some jiu-jitsu techniques, or you got Dwayne's kickboxing techniques. This is a whole package to learn to become either a better fighter or just get in shape, right? I didn't really touch too much on the mental because everyone deals with that differently because not everyone's in the same position, and that's something I've actually changed throughout my life. I wish I had time to watch TV. I don't have time to watch TV, but for me, it's just enjoying what I'm lucky. I love my job. I love getting in the gym. I love pushing myself to new extremes. I love torturing myself and going down to 125s, running for an hour and a half in the morning before I go to practice. So for me, that is what I want to do. And so I'm in the right mental spot. The night of competition, that's something that's hard to teach people. You know, you got to be able to enjoy it and have fun. And why not remember this process, everything I've done, rather than be so nervous that I forget about it. And I'm excited to get out there and fight on Saturday.
With this weight cut, has there been any special attention to that first meal after the after the weight drop? And you're just kind of like, yeah, it's gonna be good. This one has to be good.
It'd be in New York.
Yeah.
Cheesesteak or something.
Man, I don't know if I can go too ham to begin with because I might get sick. You know, I've been on such a strict diet, man. Like my psoriasis, I had psoriasis. You know, like certain things, like autoimmune things you have. Like I had psoriasis that is completely gone now because of the diet I'm on. Like certain things in my energy level, my testosterone levels, like so much has changed. It's going to be hard for me to just let it all go. And I'm sure I'm going to have some dessert and some pizza, you know, but there's been no thought on that yet. I do have a list when I get home though, of places I gotta eat at restaurants wise, you know. There's a little list, like a little checklist. Hopefully I can get through it within the week and then be done.
What type of food is on that list? What are we looking for?
Man, I love sushi. I love Thai food. I mean, I'm a foodie. I love it all, you know. But I'd probably say sushi and Thai food is probably my top choices. Yeah.
Better food in Orange County or better food in Sacramento?
Man, that's one thing that Sacramento does have is great food. They do have good food. The city of Orange County and other cities in Orange County are better, but the food in Sacramento is amazing. I miss McCooney's. Like,
there was the sushi place.
Man, I still have a roll up there. You can go up there and order the TJ roll. I need to get up there. I need to go just at the TJ roll. Go into enemy territories, see if I can make it out. Yeah.
It looks like you have some fresh ink there. Is there any symbolism behind that, or what?
Yeah. So my tattoo artist, I got my whole sleeve done by Oscar Kirmo, but this is a lion here, and his hands representing a globe, right? But the globe is made out of a snake and the infinity logo. Saying I'm gonna be king of the world forever. I got a rose in the middle of it, just showing how fragile life is. The compass around the snake's kind of representing just the direction of life in the world, you know. So, yeah, man, my whole sleeve's got too much meaning. Yeah, it take a lot of time, but yeah, it's he's been a great artist to help me expand what I wanted to do. Yeah,
Did you key your son's car the other day?
No.
That was such a funny picture.
It's too nice. Too nice of a car. But you got a nicer car than I do.
Traditional way? Do you go buy something? How do you like to celebrate a victory?
It always changes, I guess, where you're at in life and what victories they are and things like that. I want to go on vacation after this one. I haven't done it. I usually talk about doing a vacation after a fight, but it's always been straight to work. You know, I have other businesses that I've started that need my attention that it's hard for me to leave. You know, I got my spice company, Flavor Republic. It's been taking some time after my fights. The gym, the training lab. My Fit to Fight program. I'm starting a cold pressed juice company. So I have a lot going on that it's hard to get away. Because when I disappear, things don't work as great. So, but I need to make sure that I spend time with the family and get away. Like I have a 1-year-old son now. I mean, obviously he's only 1, so he doesn't really get to recognize it. But just even getting to spend a vacation for me is like leave my phones at home, go spend 3 or 4 days with my son and my wife. You know, so hopefully that's the plan.
Would you want your son to fight?
I want him to do whatever he wants to do. I won't tell him no or yes. I mean, not really, but I would never tell him no. You know, it's definitely a rough lifestyle. But if he wants to do it, more power to him, and I'll follow him. He can be a cheerleader, he can be an MMA fighter, whatever he wants to do, and I'll follow.
Do you think it's harder when the next generation of a fighter, because they don't have maybe that same struggle, because if their parent has been successful, like a Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones or someone like that, is it more difficult for a next generation to follow a parent to be
I think depending on that superstar that you're talking about is going to help their kid out, depending on what kind of pressure comes into it, or if he's got the mental mind. It all just kind of depends on how good of a a coach or representation of lifestyle that person is. You know, I feel like I could be a very good one, but I'm not gonna force. And that's why I don't want to force anything either. If my son wants to wrestle, awesome. If he wants to fight, cool. I think I can help him out quite a bit, but that needs to be his choice.
Do you have a schedule for this year that you've kind of mapped out, like any kind of plan?
No, it's always hard to look past your first fight, you know, or not your next fight. You never know like what the opportunity's gonna come, or what cards are coming up, or what opportunity. You know, so it's kind of that aspect.
Do you know if you want to fight like maybe 2 times, 3 times this year? Or?
I'd love to stay active. You know, I mean, I'm not getting any younger. I'm about to be 33 in February, so you know, stack them belts up.
TJ, any fights you looking forward yourself to seeing? MMA or boxing?
Man, I haven't really paid attention to too much what's going on lately, you know. So no, I can't say that I have. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on John Jones coming back in that performance?
Is John coming back in what?
What were your thoughts on Jones?
His return?
Yeah.
It looked strong, man. It looked good. Dominant. I mean, obviously his last fight with Gustafsson was a whole lot closer than that, so I thought he looked very dominant. Yeah.
With all your business endeavors, would you want to be a promoter ultimately, like have your own MMA platform where you promote fighters?
You mean like an agent or a promoter? I don't want to promote.
Like a straight, you know, the game could change drastically when you get to the point of retirement.
Yeah.
Would that be something that'd be interesting in doing?
On the promotion side of it, no, but I wouldn't mind helping guide people in their careers. You know, I'm more on the agent side of it. You know, I've signed with someone, Tiki Gosh, that used to fight. He was in the UFC. It's been such a breath of fresh air to have someone that understands my lifestyle, that has been there, done that. It's helped me out so much. And so yeah, I feel like I could fall right into that as well too, because I have so much knowledge in the sport and what it's done for me, same as him. So that's something I could always do. Yeah, absolutely.
TJ, you mentioned you're planning on wrestling Cejudo.
Yeah.
When just I guess when you go to bed at night, how do you see the fight ending? Is it
finishing him? And I can't tell you exactly which way I'm going to finish him, but my pressure is going to be too much. I'm too well-rounded that I can take the fight anywhere, and that he's going to want to fold. He doesn't have that competitive edge that I have.
Were you impressed with his performance against DJ? Did you see anything in there that you would like to take advantage of?
He's gotten a lot better. I was impressed with his growth, but he's not like a dangerous fighter. He's a little bit more of a boring fighter, but he's smart, right? I think that's where I'm going to pick him apart, is that I'm going to be able to put it all together. You know.
How do you take that confidence away from him? Because he just beat the best pound-for-pound fighter. You know, he's riding pretty high right now. How do you take that confidence away from him?
You don't know if someone's confident. You know, just because you got to fight, you know, doesn't mean that he's feeling confident or how they deal with it. It all comes out to that moment. You know, how you're going to feel in that moment. And I'm going to put so much pressure on him, he's not going to hang. Good? All right. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.